Greetings one and all. Welcome back to my kitchen here today. Actually it's a cold and wet and miserable day outside, so I thought why not do a bit of baking. So I'm gonna make some simple caramel, I don't know what you call them, tarts or flans, whatever. Yeah, so the first thing I'm gonna do is make my pastry. So simple in my mixer here, I'm just going to add 1.5 cups of plain flour. I've got 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. I've got 1 egg yolk, which broke. I'm going to spoon it out. I've got 125 grams of salted butter. That's still cold and just sort of cut into cubes there a bit. Now just a bit of a surprise ingredient, I'm going to put in a teaspoon of cayenne pepper into my pastry. Just to liven things up a little bit. Now I've got my plastic sort of pastry cutter in there, so let's let it rip. As you can see, it's just sort of like a crumb sort of mixture. I've just lightly floured my bench top there. Get it out. I'll see you half an hour. Alright, just getting my pastry unwrapped there. I might cut it into quarters or so. And let's just roll it out a bit. So once that's rolled out, I'll just sort of roll it up on my rolling pin a bit there, like so. It's very, very delicate, this pastry, as you can see. I'll take my flan tin. Now these are not small, not large, it's sort of like a medium sized one. And we'll just roll that over. Get it in. And just any sort of thinner bits, just patch them up a bit. Alrighty, once I'm happy with those, I end up with 4 of these medium-sized tart tins. I'm going to just put those back in the fridge now, just for another 15-20 minutes. Alrighty guys, moving right along now. I'm about to bake my pastry shells. Now, as you can see, I've just lined them with some baking paper. and then fill that paper up with some dry beans. I've preheated my oven to 190 degrees Celsius, so I'm going to whack these in now, probably for about 15 minutes to start with. Then I'll check them, and if it looks like the pastry's starting to firm up nicely, I'll take the beans out and the paper out, and then I'll continue baking those shells for another 10 or 15 minutes. Alrighty, let's get on with it. Alrighty guys, I'm back again. So just while my flan cases are cooling down now, I've got them out of the oven, they look really good. I'm going to make my caramel filling, and this is a dead set easy peasy sort of cheap really method of making caramel, but it is delicious, so that's what we're after. Now in here already I've just got 60 grams of butter, which is just melting away. I've got here 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Put that in. And I've got one of these small cans, which is 395 grams of sweetened condensed milk. And we're going to use that whole can. And my friends, that is practically all we need. And all we're going to do is simmer that away for about 10 minutes or so. Alrighty, once we start getting a little bit of colour on that, I'm going to take that off the heat. Just the last thing I'm going to add, just as I take it off the heat, is about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay guys, like I said, I've had my pastry just resting there now. It's cooled down. They turned out really good. I really like the colour on them. I can tell they're a little bit delicate, but if you handle them with care, with the care that they need, they're holding together really well. So I've got my caramel mixture. I've got a spoon, and the obvious step is to add the caramel to our cases. Alright, as you can see, that amount of filling is pretty well spot on for that amount of pastry. And as soon as that filling cools a little bit more, I'm just going to throw it in the fridge for an hour or so. Alrighty guys, still wet and miserable outside, but yeah, I've had my caramel flan, I'm still going to call it a flan I think, in the fridge there for a while. I'd probably like to leave it a bit longer, but it's just looking too good and I just want to taste it. So yeah, that's how it looks up close. And yeah, let's just take a bite. Alright. I don't know how to say this, but it is absolutely delicious. The pastry is just so yum. It's a real short pastry. It just about melts in your mouth. It's just yummy, and it's got that tiny little hint of spice. Honestly, I mean, there's no heat or anything, but yeah, you know, there's something there. It's just yummy, and the caramel's delicious. Like, for such an easy recipe, man, how could you go wrong? Alright, thanks for watching this one. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. You guys are awesome. You're rock stars, you're legends, and I say it again and again and again, and I just want you to know I mean it. Thanks for that. Thanks for those that have been leaving comments. I really appreciate that too. That's awesome. I'll try and respond to them whenever I see them. If I miss any, I apologise, because I do try to respond to every comment. Alrighty, I will see you all next time.